Hi, welcome to this presentation on the Bachelor of International Relations. I'm Jasmine Westendorf. I'm a Senior Lecturer in International Relations at Trobe University and I'm the convener of the Bachelor of International Relations. If I were to ask you what sort of issues keep you up at night, many of you, I suspect, would probably say that you're worried about the state of the world. And that's one of the reasons that you've chosen to look into studying international relations at university. When I ask high school students and others in person what they're worried about, they often talk about issues of conflict, poverty, the pandemic at the moment. I hear about people's concerns about climate change, about the decline of democracy, the rise of authoritarianism globally, the rise of populism, terrorism, the sense that there's been a decline in global support and trust in the international institutions that have helped keep the world peaceful and safe for many, many decades now. These are all really serious issues and they're really huge global issues that we are grappling with as a community in Australia, but also as a global community around the world, trying to work out the best way that we can address the collective challenges we face in order to create the safest and most prosperous environment for people to live, work, and so on. Studying international relations is a great way to start making sense of all those issues and perhaps to alleviate some of your worries about being powerless in the face of all of that trouble in the world, because this is a degree that really gives you the conceptual and practical skills that you will need in a career that attempts to address some of those issues. So if I were to ask you what you'd like to be doing 10 or 15 years from now, obviously we can't predict the future. We don't know exactly what the world is going to look like. Certainly 12 months ago, we didn't think that the world would look the way that it does today. And it's very hard to predict the future, but studying a degree like the Bachelor of International Relations can help you position yourself to take advantage of all of the challenges and opportunities in the international sphere that are likely to present themselves over the coming years so that you can make a contribution to a whole range of careers. So what does it actually mean to study international relations at La Trobe University? Through this course, we identify the great global challenges of our time. We contextualise them to history. So how did they come about? Who's involved? Why do we see these global challenges emerging in the way that they do today, and what can we do about it? We study international law, we study international organisations, we obviously study issues of security, both state and national security and international security. We study issues of conflict resolution and conflicts and wars, terrorism, diplomacy. We explore how power operates on the global stage and how the shift in the way that sovereignty is understood and respected affects how states and other non-state actors interact with one another globally. We study foreign affairs and foreign policy making to try and understand why it is that states act the way they do. We look at global social movements as well as other non-state actors to try and understand the outside pressures that affect the way states make decisions about their role in the international sphere. And obviously we study all of the actors that are involved in international affairs, whether they be states, international organisations, corporations, the private sector, the non-government sector, and so on. We do this so that you leave the Bachelor of International Relations with a comprehensive understanding of the political, strategic, historical, cultural, legal, and organisational dynamics that shape international affairs today, so that you can understand how we came to be where we are, what is actually going on right now, and how we might address those global challenges and issues to move towards a better, safer, more secure future for the world. There are a range of specialisation options available to you in this degree, in addition to the really strong curriculum of cores that the degree is structured around. So at each year level, you take a number of subjects that are exclusively available to students enrolled in the Bachelor of International Relations that give you the foundational knowledge of international affairs, state security, international relations, international law, the theories that help us explain international relations and global social movements. And then on top of that, you can choose to take subjects that look at issues of climate change, Asian studies, conflict resolution and diplomacy, issues of governance, issues of human rights, issues of foreign policy, and many, many more. All of those are available in the handbook and on the website. In addition, you're taught by passionate academics who are research experts in this area. So they don't just teach issues of international relations, they're deeply involved in studying them and often also in the practice of international affairs and international relations. Most of our academics are deeply involved in the real world practice of international relations that are involved with advising or supporting governments, non-government organisations and communities as they navigate the various issues that come up when you study international affairs and international relations. There are a whole range of exchange options available to you as part of this degree. Being an internationally focused degree, it makes sense to take time to go abroad and to study in a different context, to understand another society and another culture. There are language options available to you as part of the degree as well, Asian languages, European languages, and so on. There are a whole range of study abroad, short study abroad options, including study tours that we run through La Trobe or that our partner organisations run. And of course, you can also take a range of internships to try and build up your CV so that when you graduate from this degree, you've got an easy way to start moving into the workplace. Our graduates have excellent outcomes in the workplace. It's fantastic always to hear of where they end up. We've got graduates working in all aspects of Australia's governments, both federal and state, particularly in areas of foreign affairs, diplomacy, trade, defence, security, and policy around development, education, social policy, and so on. We've got graduates who end up working with international organisations, whether they be large organisations like the United Nations or not-for-profit organisations like the Red Cross and a range of other non-government development-focused organisations. Our students end up working in policy and research as well as in program design and implementation. We have students who've gone on to work with startup companies all around the world. We've got students who work in economics and communications, others who go into the media and reporting, others who go into advocacy issues. And obviously we also have students who decide that they'd like to make a career out of research, just as us academics have, and who go into academia. This is a really great degree for anyone who's interested in having a career in international relations. It's a very versatile degree and it's a very well-respected degree. It gives you the sorts of critical thinking skills, research and analysis skills, and a deep understanding of why the world is the way it is and how we can make sense of and respond to some of the biggest global challenges today. And that is a very appealing thing for potential employers. And it means that we are able to set our students up for really fulfilling and successful careers doing something, anything to do with international affairs. There are a number of options that might be of interest to you in terms of double degrees. We offer double degrees with law and with commerce. So if you're interested more in international law issues or in issues of economics and commerce, you might want to have a look at what's going on in those degrees as well. We have built-in work integrated learning options, as I mentioned, in relation to internships, but we've also built those into each of our subjects so that through the subjects you're not just writing academic pieces of work, but you're learning how to create the sorts of analyses and pieces of work that you might be asked to in a workplace once you graduate. For any more information about this degree, have a look at our website and have a look at some of the video testimonies from our students, current and past students, about what they loved about the degree, what they took out of it, and where it's led them. And I hope to see you at La Trobe on campus sometime soon.